Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen. Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com.
Okay, is this an attempt to start again? She said, sounding grim. You see why I'm an agnostic? Did I not start with a prayer? Granted, I didn't specifically send it up to any particular deity, but dang it. Okay, I'm assuming I'm on now? What? You know what they say about assumptions. Makes an ass of you and me. I don't even know what to okay. Okay, so we've reconnected maybe. No, we are trying to get it to connect. Am I on? Well, someone I'm confused. I heard the little beep. Am I on? No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. 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 Yes. No. Okay. Fuck. Go. Hello. I'm sorry. I'd given up so much. I was typing text to my siblings. Are we on? Yes, we are on. Hello. I don't know where to start again. I've started the show 3 separate times. Is this the 3rd time? I think. Yeah. I just want to say the first time I started with a prayer, which is why I'm an agnostic. Oh, dang it. I don't even know. We think we're on for a while. I don't know where to double back to. I talked a bit about having watched the Ketanji Brown Jackson hearings and being repulsed by are responding that they can hear you, so just go on. Oh, did they hear me scream fuck real loud? Uh-oh. Ah, sorry. But then again, I've shared myself so much with you over the years that I suppose that wasn't particularly surprising. At any rate, I'm just going to keep talking until you guys tell me I ain't there again, which I fully expect. Milton, I just saw your. He said, "We heard. Am I on? Yes. No. Yes. No. Fuck." Well, there. See, and I guess I'm on until I'm not. Damn. Okay, I will just try. And this is why, God damn it, I'm sorry. But if we got to get this fixed, obviously. And you know how we often appeal to you for money? That is the base of our issue. We got no money. City paper is less than a shoestring budget, and so many committed, wonderful people working for it. I've just been told I'm off again. Okay, fuck it. Excuse me. For those of you who are still hearing that, I don't think we can do this. I'm really sorry. I can't do this. I can't do this. How do I do this? I know I'm repeating myself, but no, you're telling me I'm still on, and I'm getting emails saying you're off. Okay, I guess I'm just going to go, but you know, okay, fine. I'm told that people on YouTube can hear me. Well, hello, and any of you on YouTube who are offended by swearing and stuff like that, I'm sorry. I guess I'll just do it then. Until, if it cuts out again, I'm out of here. I mean it. Because patience is not a virtue that comes easily to me. Let me see if I have anything happy to talk about. Nope. No, I don't. Okay. It appears, the Russians are having a time of it, which I do appreciate. That's looking at this horrific war from the only positive angle, which is the misery, perhaps, of Vladimir Putin. But boy, actually, one of his higher ups actually. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm hearing from my producers. I've got actually two poor producers over there trying to get a handle on this, and they're saying what we're seeing. To us, this is odd. To us, you're not odd. But some listeners say they're hearing it. So it's this weird limbo where you're on and you're not on. Well, okay, YouTube seems to be the place to be. But then if someone's not on, they don't hear that. So I don't know what to say. And can you guys put something out saying it appears YouTube? So it's the poor papers website that's not on. I have no idea. Okay, so Milton says he's listening on YouTube and he hasn't lost the show since my third. Oh, geez. Oh, this is humiliating. Salutation. So you've heard all of this Okay, I'm just going to then start doing what should be a show. We have put on our Facebook page that people should go to YouTube. Hello, anybody, you intrepid souls. God bless you. At some point, I got to throw you all a party. We did do that once. We did that twice, actually. Throw a party somewhere, and we can all get together and cry on each other's shoulders. Okay? That'd be good. So I think I was about to say that another sign that things are not going real well over there in Moscow is that one Russian official, granted not the highest level, he happens to be Putin's climate advisor or climate envoy. He's up and left the country and made quite clear that he's up and left the country because of the war. So there are, and we are seeing that a lot of people in Russia, certainly not most, are leaving the country. You know, this could really create a kind of Russian brain drain. They might start losing some of their best people, who, seeing that the future in their country looks so bleak, might cut and run. But that's of little solace to the poor souls in Ukraine right now. Did I ask you when we stopped saying the Ukraine? Because for maybe that was when it was a part of the Soviet Union. It was the Ukraine, but we didn't say the Georgia. We didn't say it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay. And now we hear that there's 6 generals dead. How many generals they got? Unbelievable. Okay, I'm getting on YouTube loud and clear. That's really good. Thank you so much. And here's another thing. Michael writes, I noticed my YouTube updated automatically on my phone, which knocked you off, but it's back now. Dear Lord, and you know what? Technology. Can't live with it. Can't live without it. But at the moment, thank God for YouTube. So, this Ketanji, and I was speaking of her before, Brown Jackson, is such an impressive woman. My old mom, I called her yesterday about, I think, 5, which would be 4 her time, and said, "Hi, Mom," and she said, "Oh, just a minute. Hi, let me turn off this interminable television." And it took her a while. And then I said, "Well, what's on?" She says, "Well, I'm watching this amazing woman." And I think she said interminable because she'd been watching all day, and she's probably watching again now. But she was just blown away by her. And I think anybody watching would have to see that, man, Biden made a really good pick here. Wow. I mean, she's got the kind of emotional intelligence, something I lack, the emotional intelligence that will allow her to sit on that court with all those awful people and be in the minority, which is something, of course, she's used to, and not lose her cool. Anyone hear how Clarence Thomas is doing, by the way? Oh, and somebody told me when I was thinking of what was the religious breakdown of the court now that it is a overwhelmingly Catholic court. Used to be Protestant court, and then a whole bunch of Jews got on for a little while there, and now the Jews are going down and the Catholics have come up, and I said there weren't any Protestants. I was wrong. Clarence Thomas, I'm told. Clarence Thomas? Is that what I was told? Is a Protestant? What was I told? I'm trying to remember. God, I've got to go through so many of these. Yeah, Clarence Thomas is a Protestant. He was raised Catholic. Oh, but that lovely wife of his turned him into what? Some kind of an evangelical lunatic. Huh? Is that what happened? So, yeah, I thought he was Catholic. That awful wife, that horrible human being. Ugh. God. Okay. Hey, speaking of awful human beings, and things you can't even absorb because the cognitive dissonance that gets created is so intense that you literally can't, unless you're made of stronger stuff than I, which I suspect many of you are. But reading what Republican office holders say these days and say what they're for and what they're against is such well, I'll just give you Senator Mike Braun. Of where's he from? I don't know half these god awful senators anymore, and I'm sure I don't want to. Indiana. What, did he replace Mike Pence? Probably. Good God in heaven. What is wrong with you people? Talking to you over there in the Hoosier State. Senator Mike Braun the other day said that he would be open to the Supreme Court overturning the 1967 ruling that legalized interracial marriage. Yeah, you heard that. He would. He said it. He later said he didn't say it, but he said it. That's that. Said the quiet part out loud. Inner censor wasn't working. And he is part of this increasing stuff we are seeing coming out of the Republican Party of literally, I mean, they're going to be burning witches by 2025. They're increasingly coming out against contraception, against, oh my God, and now against interracial marriage. How did that federal anti-lynching law finally pass? I want to know, because I mean, this is a party that you would think would embrace it. Good God. So, having come across that, just wanted to share it with you, because why should I be the only person freaking out? Okay. I hate to tell my producers this, because here, let me just give you the subject lines of what I'm seeing on my email from my producer. It's live on both citypaper.com and YouTube. The next 1 minute later, I get this. I sure hate missing you. I sure hope they fix this soon. And then I get, can't stream your broadcast. Are you there? Are you there? Okay. Now, see, I can't do the show and also be responding to these letters, although I just did that one. I don't know what to do. I'll keep going, I guess, because now I'm just going to get deluged with a bunch of people saying you're still hearing me. But this is so pissing me off that, yeah. I have to admit, I have staged some rather momentous tirades in my tenure at City Paper, and not recently. I remember one that I was later, I can't get it out of my head, but it's when we were still over on Smithfield Street when technical difficulties were bedeviling us. And I remember storming out of the studio. There was actually a studio. I stormed out of the studio into where the hardworking, underpaid souls of Pittsburgh City Paper labor. And I accosted the then publisher, I believe was his title, and said, I just started screaming, I'm done, I can't, I just went berserk. And I remember noting in the course of my tirade, his face. His face, as I read it, was a combination of shock and hurt, and then kind of a resolve, because quite clearly he went through, how dare she, and my God, and blah, blah, and this and that. And then he actually, when he finally spoke, he was trying to calm down the raging bitch that was in front of him. Oh man, guys, I don't even know. Okay. Here, Ed writes, there was a very informative Amanpour and Company segment last night. She interviewed, what is that? Is that something that CNN has put in place of Chris Cuomo or something? I told you I've sworn off CNN, MSNBC, obviously Fox. I've just sworn them off. Every once in a while I peek, but I don't know what's going on over there anymore. So is that what's replaced Chris Cuomo? Be good. Anyway, she interviewed Dmitry Peskov. He has served as Putin's chief spokesperson for more than 2 decades. He was clearly lying for most of the time, I bet, and seemingly confused for the remainder. Well, I was going to say I feel sorry. I almost feel sorry, because you can imagine the terror of the yes men. Are there any yes women? I'm serious. Are there any? I mean, it's just a blinding sea of white defense. But they've got to be getting nervous. I mean, he's already put a few guys, the intelligence yes men, under house arrest, as much as we know. And then you got this climate guy cutting and running. And who the hell knows? I can't imagine. They're so desperate. They're bringing in what? Libyans. He's in Libya, getting Libyans to come over and kill Ukrainians, and Syrians. All the Syrians he hasn't yet killed, he's trying to get to come and kill Ukrainians. And then you got, of course, the whatchamahookies, the Byelorussians. I don't know. As I've said so many times, the Byelorussians, Russians. This is how we learn geography, because we don't know it. And I'm sorry if I'm including you. In fact, you're a geography buff, but we don't know it. And this is how we learn it, when people die. Okay. Gigi is suggesting to people that she says when she's been losing the show, that if she just refreshes either the city paper site or YouTube, it pops back on. What? Your audio stops. I find I just have to keep reopening the site. I don't know. Refresh, she says. Amanpour, oh, she's not on CNN. She's on QED at 11 and repeats again on whatever the hell that is, WQRD 13-3. I don't even know what that is. Okay, I am so out of it. Okay, that's good to know, though, but that's past my bedtime. Or that's past the time when I'm lying in bed and not sleeping. That, I think, pretty much accurately. So Trump apparently pulled his endorsement from Mo Brooks. Mo Brooks, he is now accused of going woke. This shows, I mean, these people are insane. Mo Brooks is as, well, I needn't waste my time. I guess his crime was that he actually said that Trump could not overturn the result of the 2020 election, which of course is true. That might be the only true thing Mo Brooks has said in the last decade. But it was that one true thing that said, that Trump said, that's it. I'm withdrawing my endorsement. You can't make it up. I came across a quote, and I just want to share it with you. Not that I have anything. I usually like to do a better segue into something, but I see it starting to brown on its paper, which means it's been hanging around for a while. And let's see. It is from Coretta Scott King, and it's from a speech that she gave just months after she had buried her husband. And I found it so eloquent that I wanted to find an occasion to share it. I remind you that starving a child is violence. Suppressing culture is violence. Neglecting school children is violence. Discrimination against working people is violence. Ghetto housing is violence. Ignoring medical needs is violence. Contempt for poverty is violence. Even the lack of willpower to help humanity is a sick and sinister form of violence. The problems of racism, poverty, war can all be summarized with one word: violence. Well, I found that obviously so compelling because what she is saying so eloquently is that all oppression, whatever form it takes, suppression, repression, oppression, it is all a kind of violence. And so often when I look at what the party formerly called Republican Party, it seems that that is all they stand for. Violence. Now, I want to share with you something that is going to... Oh, wait. Get you in a tizzy. I'll finish the sentence and then interrupt myself. I just wanted to point something out that I found a little astonishing. The governor of Utah, not surprisingly, a Republican, has vetoed a law passed overwhelmingly by the, not surprisingly, Republican legislature that would bar transgender athletes from participating in girls' sports. Now, the reason it caught my eye is because I had seen a similar story just a few days before, and it was the same story. It was a Republican governor in a red state controlled by a red legislature, and obviously the whole damn government is all Republican, having also vetoed the same bill. Part of the ongoing culture war that Republicans see as their greatest path to victory. And I don't disagree with them on that. The other governor was the governor of Indiana. Now, why these two guys did it, I'm not particularly sure. I think the Indiana guy had said that he knew that it was going to be challenged in court, and he suspected it would be overturned, and he didn't see that it was addressing any issue of any importance at the moment, seeing as there was other stuff. But still, every once in a while, a Republican will, like, for a second, have this, like, spasmodic moment of doing the right thing. And the Utah governor is a little bit more complex case, because this guy turns out to be a friend to LGBT activists in his state. And they come to his support, too. Goes both ways. And they have said that they appreciate the fact that he was instrumental in helping ban conversion therapy in the state, you know, where you go to you send gay people off to reprogramming camps, and they come out happy heterosexuals. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. He banned that. And then after the the horrific mass murder at the Orlando gay nightclub that killed 49 people, he, I believe then the lieutenant governor, actually cried as he gave a speech the day after and apologized for when he was a teacher in a rural area of not treating gay students with the kindness, dignity, and respect and the love that they deserved. And he said at that time, my heart has changed. It has changed because of you. It has changed because I've gotten to know many of you, and you have been so patient with me. Now, that's a Republican governor just saying the scuttlebutt on why he vetoed it is not only because his heart has changed, but also because Utah is increasingly becoming a sort of tech-heavy state, and there is concern that it will have trouble attracting companies if it is seen as an anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-state. So there's that. And now, given that, and given what you saw the Republicans throwing at Judge Brown yesterday, Judge Jackson, Brown Jackson. I'm sorry, everybody's got 3 or 4 names now, and I can't keep them straight. I'll get it eventually. I worry about this because you see, as I said, that Republicans, even though, I mean, they're this horrific party. They are a minority party. They stand for nothing. And yet they have this, they get votes. They get votes again and again and again, much to the astonishment of folks like us, right? It can't all be evil, horrible people. I just can't believe there are that many in the country. And in fact, I had occasion, maybe someday I'll tell you about it, of spending some time with some rural, small town, ox watching, Republican Americans recently. And you know what? We didn't talk politics. You know what? I liked them. A few of them I loved, just loved. Good people, good parents, salt of the earth, yada, yada, yada. Right. And the few that I did sort of talk to about things, I did not think were anti-gay at all or racist. Seriously. They voted for Trump. And increasingly, I think it's because it's not that they're for, it's they're against what the Democrats, how the Democrats present. And I know this is not something new that I'm saying, but I firmly believe it. The Democratic Party used to be, without a doubt, the party that blue-collar folks knew represented them, and consequently, they voted for it. Blue-collar people are now not a sure demographic for the Democrats at all. And I have little doubt that it is on social issues that we've lost them. Now, some of it, race, yes. And I say, then goodbye, or unless we can educate people better. But we've got to stop giving Republicans this gift. There was a piece in the New York Times today written by a Republican, a never Trump Republican, a guy who co-founded the Lincoln Project, if you've heard of that. That is, I mean, it's hard to disagree with a lot of what Lincoln Project puts out. They are often progressive. I suspect they're Republican for, old conservative economic kinds of values. Remember those kinds of Republicans? And his name is Mike Madrid. And he looks and he does not like this iteration of his party. He's not left it because some people think, I guess, that they can somehow reform it. I think they're insane, but whatever. But he writes a very, I think, well thought out cautionary piece in today's New York Times about how important the Hispanic vote is in the upcoming midterms and going forward, a phrase I hate. Whatever happened to just saying in the future? Anyway. And he points out that Hispanics are increasingly, steadily moving to the Republicans. Give you some numbers that underscore that. President Barack Obama, 2012, 71% Hispanic support. Whew, that's like a solid block. Hillary Clinton, it's down, 66%. A lot, but it's down. Joe Biden, 2020, Hispanic support, 59%. That is a steady and frightening downward trend. And these voters are growing in number in key battleground states, and they are rejecting what Democrats are presenting. They are rejecting in part the fact that Democrats come to them and treat them as a beleaguered minority. That's what this guy says. Because they see themselves as hardworking, often working class, but hardworking, moving up, typical Americans. And the thing is that, you know, you can focus on these things, and the media doesn't help us here because one person on our side making a big mistake with, something like defund the police, that kind of thing, and the whole party goes down because media pick it up, and it doesn't matter that most Democrats disagree with that. They want reform of police, but they don't believe in defunding the police, most Democrats. I can say that, I think, without a doubt. But then Republicans and that incredibly powerful right-wing machine, aided and abetted by the so-called mainstream media, pick that up, and everybody thinks that's what Democrats stand for. They're going to take your police away. So we've talked about this before, but he points to it, and it's just, again, another sign of how Democrats allow the fringe of our supporters to mess us up all the time because they put stuff out there that the Republicans pick up and use to say this is what Democrats do. And I bring it up again, Latinx, okay? Because we're talking about Hispanic votes. Where the hell did that term come from? When I first saw it, I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I thought Latinx? What is that? Then I heard, thank God, somebody say Latinx. Oh, it's Latinx. And that came probably from a white person. I don't know if anyone can pinpoint who the person is who came up with it. Some white, non-Hispanic, lefty type, so self-righteously bent on virtue signaling that they decided that because Spanish is a language that is gendered, God help all those gendered languages now, and that women were referred to as Latinas and men as Latinos, that there had to now be no such thing, but that all were Latinx, and nobody gets their feelings hurt. Okay. Who uses this term? I'm asking. Do you? I don't, and I won't. I won't until the vast majority of Hispanics tell me that's what they want to be called. But if you ask Hispanics, they'll say, what the fuck? Well, they won't say that. All the research that's been done shows that next to no Latinx people would refer to themselves as Latinx. And a whole bunch more of white liberals think it's the proper term. What? Self-righteous crap. And guess what? Only 14% of Latinos have even heard of the term. And this guy says, and I agree with him, you might not, but he says, this is emblematic of one class, that'd be Democrats, college-educated folks, urban folks, emblematic of one class with the luxury of being consumed with such matters, trying to impose its values on working families who wouldn't for a minute have the time or the concern or the interest in thinking about such a thing. And increasingly, the Democratic Party is a party of elites. Now, we got some demographics that are holding on with us because, as my brother says, just because they could never, ever support the Republican Party. And that would be black people and a whole bunch of others, some labor people as well. But the praised woke crowd is alienating so many people that we need to get power that they've got to be stopped. I'm sorry. They've got to be stopped. Not the work they do, but the kind of silly, elitist, stupidity, piddling shit they do. Now, this guy says the growing cultural divide in America, in which Hispanics appear, and their numbers sure show it, their voting sure show it, appear to be increasingly turned off by these progressive mottos and movements, is probably in some ways linked to the education divide in America between college-educated and non-college-educated voters of all ethnicities. And Democrats need to know that 64% of voters in this country have not a college degree. And where do people get all this the bullshit wokeness that you can see? You could see in the hearings yesterday that Republicans have nothing to offer. But we keep bearing gifts to them. I don't know. We've got to learn how better to counter this and how, I don't know. But shit like this, Latinx, defund the police, are turning off voters that would otherwise be with us. And as I said, they're aided and abetted by media of all stripes. So, he says Republican gains with Hispanic voters and with others is happening despite Republicans. God knows. Not because of them. It is a gift that we are giving. Just want to point that out. And speaking of stuff, another Starbucks has gone union, and I love this. Guess where it is? It's in Seattle, exactly where Starbucks birthed itself, where Howard Schultz, who thinks he's a progressive, anti-labor progressive, strange breed, but there he is. He's probably in the right camp on all the woke stuff, but when it comes to labor, no, because he's a capitalist who believes in keeping the money. Howard Schultz, yeah. So, and by the way, Starbucks stock is down, glad to see, 30% from its peak. And the number of unionized company-owned stores continues to grow. There's at least one, or is it two now in Pittsburgh that are trying to unionize. There are now 7 in the country. But the first happened literally just the other day, right? That was back in, December. And so that again shows a momentum that I doubt is going to reverse, which is, I think, great news. Great news. So, wanted to share that with you. Okay. I think that's it for me. I know that is. I don't know what the hell's wrong. And I guess I'll just pray that come next week, I'll do the show tomorrow, but come next week, I sure as hell hope that we're not troubled anymore. I think I had started to say that money is an issue. And if you have not contributed to a city paper, it'd be nice if you would. That helps us. And I guess, and there's always the possibility that this show could turn into a kind of show that you have to, pay for? That goes against my grain. But I don't know what else to say. It's pretty much, I feel like it's out of my hands since I don't understand any of it. But we're trying, obviously, and we are not happy either. Okay? Talk to you tomorrow.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.